Wow, my god, what was that, a pheasant?
That is a pheasant.
That was huge.
We sold Chris's car. We literally sold Chris's car. Hello vlog. Oh my god, my hair's crazy today. Today is Tuesday and this is a little bit different. This vlog, we are going to Edinburgh because I'm speaking at an event. So we're going to an event for SkinPen, the lead for Scotland and I think it's North England. Jenny reached out to me a couple of months ago and asked if I would do like a little bit of a talk on marketing, and I said yeah, because that's what I really want to start getting into. So I've done a presentation based on how beauty salons and aesthetic clinics can do a lot more on their social media rather than just posting before and afters. And I've obviously related to microneedling, which is what SkinPen is for. So me and Amy are about to drive through there now and we're going to do a little of a Q&A with me in the car. I asked, because Greene Creatives is 5 this year, I've been doing a series on TikTok and like 5 things I've learnt in business, and I asked my Instagram followers what they would want me to answer next, like 5 things. So we're going to do that in the car and yeah, take you to the talk with us too.
Hey everyone, we're going to ask Danny some questions. She put this poll up on her Instagram like maybe last week or something.
Yeah.
And everybody was asking her pretty much to answer all these questions. So we're going to ask her all them now whilst we're driving to Edinburgh. Woo. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
5 things you wish you knew before you started. 5, god, that's a lot.
I know they're all 5. 5 things I wish I knew before I started. Okay, first one's probably, it doesn't matter how much money you earn, you will always be juggling cash flow. So you're always juggling what's coming in versus what's going out. You think you might, so what we earn now is in the business, I would have been blown away by that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's just, my outgoings are bigger, so it's like it doesn't really, you never really properly see the benefit of it. Well, you do, but yeah. I also wish I knew that it was going to work out. I probably could have left my other job a lot quicker than what I did. Yeah, it was scary, like doing that and going out on your own. Another thing I wish I knew is the anxiety you get as a business owner for just taking a day off, like not even a day off. So the fact that we're driving through to Edinburgh, realistically we're not going to get home until like 4 or 5ish, so that's a day gone.
Yeah. Wow, my god, what was that, a pheasant?
That is a pheasant.
That was huge. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I thought that car was going to hit it.
That was what the hell?
That would have been very traumatic.
I swear birds like that don't just bloody...
Why doesn't it know that this is a road as well? Yeah, like the anxiety you get when you're not in it all the time, especially when I take time off. I still feel anxious to this day looking at my emails again.
Yeah.
But it is something that does come more naturally the more that you take time off and things like that. You really need to prioritise your business as a client as well, but client work obviously takes priority. But I feel like if I had done that from the very, very start, then it would just be habit.
It would be a normal thing.
I wish I knew to focus on long form content over short form content. So I wish I started the vlog 5 years ago.
Yeah, that is true. Because that was kind of all happening during lockdown, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody was kind of bringing a camera out.
But it's just, like, it's obviously easier to show up on, like, Instagram and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
true. 5 systems or tools you can't live without.
Number 1, Asana.
Yeah.
Couldn't live without Asana. So Asana is a project management tool. Use it for all my tasks, the team's tasks, and yeah, so mine, for example, I have all the weeks for the year, and then when I remember something that I'll need to do in like October, I scroll down and put it in.
the girls I usually work week by week what they need to do, and yeah, it just helps me manage workload. You guys know what to do if you're working remotely.
Yeah.
So Sana's one. Second is a work phone.
True.
That helps me switch off and keeps everything separate. Third one is design and edit stuff that we use, so Canva and CapCut. We can do our jobs about that. Fourth one, do you use like Google Sheets and stuff quite a lot? Like that's what all the client stuff. Google Drive, we wouldn't survive without that. Because all the stuff gets stored on there. We use Google Sheets.
Clients could see anything.
Yeah, we use Google Sheets for sending over content, editing stuff. So Google Drive. One more. Dubsado. So that's for our CRM system. So what manages all our clients and stuff. When people inquire, and it sends out invoices and all that. I've recently invested in that a little bit more to use it more effectively. But yeah, we couldn't live without that. Before I used to have to manually send out invoices and
Odd.
No, that wasn't cheap.
5 things you did to go self-employed. And we're in traffic, so perfect time to think.
Yes. 5 things I did to go self-employed. Okay, so first one, this is probably quite cheesy, but I just worked really hard. I used to, don't really know if I've told the vlog this, but I left university and got a job with a Scottish brand and worked in-house with them. I was basically their marketing department. And then because it was like a really small business, like Greene Creatives, obviously there got to a point where I was like, if I'm going to expand, either this is going to take off overnight, or if I'm going to expand what I'm doing, I need to probably go elsewhere. So I went and worked in the oil industry. Worst decision I ever made. Like it wasn't. It made me a stronger person, I would say.
Yeah.
But in 2018, Fern started Palace Beauty and I started helping her, and that's how Greene Creative started. So I would literally finish my work and then go and do her stuff, which was fine when it was just Fern. But then more and more people would get in touch, and I just had to work in between my full-time job, which is really hard going. And then in lockdown, more and more people got in touch, and it just got to the point where I was completely burnt out. Like, no Laurie coming in here. I remember I was like humming and hawing about handing in my notice, and my mum and Chris kept saying to me, please just do it, like you're actually unbearable to be around. And then we went on holiday for Chris's 30th. We went to Rome when you were a limited travel and that bit. And I came back after like 10 days off, and honestly I sat down at my desk in the house and I just felt so suffocated. And I was like, right, I'm going to hand in my notice. So basically the answer to that question is I had to work really hard. I had to make sure I was still fulfilling my responsibility as like for my job, because I would never let anybody down. I ended up, I was only supposed to work a month's notice. I ended up working 2 or 3 months, I can't remember, so that I wasn't letting the team down.
Oh my God.
When I went self-employed. So I worked really hard. Second thing we did, we sold Chris's car. We literally sold Chris's car. So I had a car and Chris had a car, and then locked him, because I used to have to drive to Montrose every day for work, and he worked in Arbroath. And then lockdown came, I was obviously working from home, he was still working, like had to drive to work. So I had a A-Class, a Mercedes, and he had a Kia Sportage. I was obviously still paying for mine, his was paid, like, and yeah, we just had to look at what outgoings, and I was like, well, if we're going to make this work, we need to get rid of the car, your car, so that you're just helping me pay towards the Mercedes. So we sold Chris's car. Yeah.
Do you know what? Sometimes life goes like that.
Yeah, did that. The third thing I did to go self-employed was I calculated like my share of the bills, saved up 3 months of that. so that regardless of what happened, it was good to go. Like I had that to fall back on. The fourth thing we did was I'd already built up a client base. Like it's not like I just decided one day, right, this is what we're going to do, and then I'll do it. I had clients that I was working with. I had to put a stop on the inquiries that were coming in because I just couldn't manage it and my full-time job. So I created like a wait list. So I knew that when I was fully self-employed, I had that to fall back on. And the fifth thing, when I was transitioning to go from fully employed to self-employed, I went part-time. So I said to my job, look, I'll work extra so that you're not like on your own if I can do part-time. So I think I had like a Monday and a Friday to work on Greene creative stuff.
Wow.
So then that allowed me to like still have money coming in, but obviously it dropped a lot and stuff like that.
Last one, 5 things that weren't worth the hype.
Oh, that's a really hard one. I've invested in like courses, probably even went to events and stuff that I'm like, didn't really get a lot out of that compared to the money I paid for it. And that's why, like, obviously I've gained a lot of knowledge now, and I'd loved, with Greene Creatives, I always wanted to make it accessible, so I knew what it's like to work for a small brand. They can't afford to work with big agencies, so that was where the idea was born as such. But so there is so much knowledge that I would love to put in like a course format, but I want it to be something that people would actually use and get value out of, rather than just buying for the sake of it. So I have invested in stuff like that weren't really worth the hype. TikTok, for example, I've never really fell in love with TikTok. I know lots of businesses do really well on it, but when it came out in lockdown, I wasn't really fussed about it, so I was probably late to the party. But yeah, I've never really got the TikTok hype for our business.
It's also a whole new thing for your business to go into, and then grow on that when you've done so well on Instagram and all that.
Like, we've got clients that do really well on it, but for Greene Creatives, I've never been blown away by this. I've not had one client from it, I wouldn't say.
Stress.
Oh yeah, the stress.
That was just the first thing that came to my head, because being in a business like this, you were by yourself at one point, so that's like overwhelming.
Is not worth the hype. Yeah, that's definitely one. It's sometimes really, really not worth it, and you need to tell yourself, I'm not a brain surgeon, no one's going to die if this post doesn't go out. And the culture of Greene Creatives that I hope I've created for my team is that, like, this should not be a stress. I've been in jobs before where you're like scared to put in a holiday request, or you asked to work from home, and it was like an issue.
Literally me.
Yeah, scared to put. Literally, I'm never going to be.
That's not the environment, by the way. I'm just very like.
Yeah,
I don't like to. Well, I don't like. Danny's made it a very good environment for me to be like, I come to her for any issue, whatever. But it's I just feel bad that she's gave me some of her work, so she's not as stressed, so I can do it for her and make her company grow, whatever. But then I feel bad giving it back to her when I'm gone for a week.
You can't you can't move in with me. Do you know what I mean? So you do need to take holidays. I never want you to feel like that. So stress in general, even if you don't bloody work for yourself and you just work for someone, it's not worth the hype.
Oh no.
Okay, we're back. I can only think of one more though. So throughout building Greene Creatives, I had clients that I would love to work with, and sometimes even if you feel like you'd love to work with them, it's just not aligned with you or your business. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. But one thing I would say about that, if you do have like dream businesses that you would love to work with, if you work in marketing or you're an influencer or anything like that, regardless of how big you think they are, you need to still stay true to like yourself and what you bring to them. I feel like when you own a business, and I really struggled with this, it's hard to be like, this is what I charge, and no, I can't do that, that's actually not part of our package, or something you need to stick up for yourself, because you'll end up just resenting the work. So that's only 4, guys. I'm sorry. I might
It's hard.
randomly think of one that wasn't worth the hype, but
there's more positives than negatives, because that's like,
yeah, there
well, they're not
is.
negatives,
Well,
but
that's true. Yeah, there's been. I'm struggling to think of stuff. I know stuff that people will say, like PR and stuff, sometimes isn't worth the hype for some businesses. But we did a few years ago a PR exercise. We were featured in like a local newspaper article, physically and online, and we still, like, not that long ago, I've still had inquiries through that.
oh wow.
So yeah, sometimes brands focus on like the social aspect, like social media and stuff, but I do think to a certain extent like traditional marketing does still
Yeah.
sort of work on PR and stuff like that. So yeah, that was everything. Hi everyone! We are now driving back to Dundee, so you'll have seen sort of behind the scenes as such from the top. So it went really good. The clinics got involved in the discussion and stuff, which was good. It's just really got me thinking about how all beauticians, those that work in aesthetics, all that, they all have the same issues, sorry. So we have been discussing how we could use a version of that presentation that I just did to reach a larger market. But this is going to be the end of this vlog, so this was a little bit different. Rather than me just sitting at a desk all day, I had heard about this new YouTube thing called Hype, and I think it's you can hype videos. It's pretty much a button and you can hype up a video that you've enjoyed watching, and now when you're on YouTube there's like a top 100 or whatever videos that have been hyped. So I think it just helps reach other people. So if you have enjoyed this, if you could please click the hype button, that would be great, and then we'll see you for the next vlog. Bye!